Incredible chef works 3 jobs, discovers heartwarming surprise. CEO reveals life-changing breakthrough. Maya's alarm chimed at 4:30 a.m., slicing through the stillness of her one-bedroom apartment. The city was quiet, the streets just beginning to wake up. With a weary sigh, she pulled herself from the warm cocoon of blankets and padded into the kitchen, the smell of fresh coffee already wafting through the air. In moments like these, she found solace in the rhythmic chop of vegetables and the sizzle of eggs. Breakfast was sacred, a ritual shared with her daughter, Lily. As the golden sunlight peeked through the window, she poured Lily's favorite maple syrup, imagining each pancake as an opportunity for dreams to take flight. By daybreak, their kitchen was filled with laughter, but as soon as Lily was off to school, Maya was off to the diner, ready to flip pancakes and serve coffee with a smile. She deftly handled the crowded pockets of regulars and newcomers alike, her heart swelling with the rush of energy that came from the hustle. Little did they know, beneath her cheerful exterior lay the weight of exhaustion from juggling 3 jobs: the diner, the catering company, and the bakery. Each job drained her, yet she embraced the exhaustion, knowing every hour worked was a step closer to securing a brighter future for her and Lily. But whispers echoed in this vibrant community. Some neighbors, while sympathetic, viewed her working 3 jobs as a personal failing, a belief that stung like a sharp knife. Why can't she just take it easy? They murmured. But Maya knew that life didn't stop for self-doubt or societal judgment. It thrived on resilience. Each night, as she bent over the oven in the bakery, whipping up dough and frosting, she imagined a warm restaurant with families packed around tables, sharing laughter and memories. Yet, it felt like a distant star so tantalizingly out of reach. One busy Thursday morning at the diner, a local CEO entered for a community project aimed at uplifting struggling single parents. He observed Maya in action. Her passion for her work was palpable. After a brief chat, he learned about her dreams of opening a restaurant. A flicker of interest sparked in his eyes, but a shadow of apprehension flitted across Maya's heart. Could she dare to hope? Could someone like him genuinely care about her dreams? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The annual food festival approached, and Maya decided to showcase her culinary skills. Against the backdrop of swirling excitement and colorful tents, she felt caught between anticipation and terror. This was her chance to dazzle the community and show Lily that dreams weren't just dreams, they were possible. As she prepared her station, the crowd around her buzzed with curiosity, and her heart raced with mixed emotions. But chaos erupted. An oven malfunction sent a plume of black smoke into the air. Flour flew like confetti, and a gasp rippled through the onlookers. All eyes were on Maya, and dread gripped her. What if she failed? But as she locked eyes with the CEO, his reassuring nod breaking through her panic, hope surged. This community was her family. They had lifted her when she faltered, and now was her moment to rise. Would he step in and help her in her moment of need? Maya took a deep breath, ready to embrace the unknown. The stakes had never felt higher, and time was running out. Could this be the moment that transforms not only her fate but everyone's belief in the power of resilience? As she stood there, poised to reclaim control, and unrelenting, question burned in her heart. Could courage be contagious, sparking not just her transformation, but that of a community hungry for hope? The smoke curled into the air, thick and choking, but Maya couldn't let it get to her. Every second felt like an eternity as she rushed to contain the situation. Her heart pounded, adrenaline coursing through her veins. The crowd shifted. Gasps filled the air, and her cheeks flushed heat from the stares at her fraying nerves. She grabbed the fire extinguisher from under the counter, her hands shaking as she fumbled to point it at the oven. A wave of cold foam sprayed out, swirling through the smoke, and suddenly, there was silence. The fizzling noise filled the void, extinguishing the chaos as the smoke began to clear. Maya exhaled, her chest heaving. The failure was a heavy weight, but she glanced at the CEO. His expression was unreadable yet piercing, as if he saw straight through her facade of confidence. Gathering her composure, she could feel the warmth of determination rising within her. This was still her chance to shine. "Everyone," she called out, forcing her voice above the murmurs. "I apologize for that, just a small hiccup, but let me show you the flavors of my heart." She quickly adjusted her strategy, shifting her focus to a small yet vibrant platter of unique hors d'oeuvres she had prepared for the festival. Layers of bright colors danced in her mind. Sprightly fresh herbs, crisp vegetables, and fragrant spices caught in her memory, pushing away her earlier doubts. She began to plate, every movement a reminder of who she was at her core, a chef, a creator. As she worked, she could almost hear Lily's laughter and see her wide-eyed wonder during their kitchen adventures. All of a sudden, the smell of her spicy tomato relish filled the air, pulling in festival goers. The crowd regained interest, their curiosity piqued by the unexpected turn of events. Little by little, she could feel their energy shift from judgment to anticipation. Maya scooped up the vibrant dishes with renewed vigor. "These are made with love, from my kitchen to yours," she announced, offering samples to the crowd. "Taste my dreams wrapped in hope." One by one, the onlookers started taking bites, their faces lighting up with surprise and delight. "Wow!" someone murmured. "This is amazing." Excitement buzzed as they began sharing their thoughts with friends, each enthusiastic reaction fueling Maya's fire. Her heart swelled with each satisfied smile. The CEO was now engaged, moving through the crowd, soaking in the atmosphere. She noticed him taking notes and nodding appreciatively. Maybe he believed in her after all. A small child tugged at Maya's apron. "Can I help?" she asked eagerly. Maya knelt down and saw the same light in the girl's eyes that she'd seen in Lily's. It was a reminder that dreams, however distant, were meant to be shared. "Of course. You can decorate these," Maya said, handing her a few edible flowers. The child beamed, the simple act of creation cementing a moment of joy for them both as the festival continued. Maya's booth became a hub of laughter and connection. Community members who had once whispered doubts now joined forces, sharing their stories of struggle and resilience. Hope was infective, weaving through their hearts like a song. She noticed the CEO one last time as he moved closer, his attention fixed on her vibrant setup. Could he possibly step up and help their dreams soar even higher? As Maya's gaze followed him, a new thought flickered in her mind. Perhaps this festival wasn't just about one moment, maybe it was the start of something bigger. Behind the joy of succeeding there lay a more profound sense of purpose. Community, family, and dreams intertwined. But then, out of the corner of her eye, she caught sight of a familiar figure shadowed by the throngs. It was Lily, peering through the crowd with wide eyes. Would she feel proud or frightened? Would she see her mother in triumph or chaos? The uncertainty grabbed Maya's heart. In that moment, she realized that what she truly wanted was more than just the success of a dish. It was Lily's belief in her. As whispers of fear mingled with celebration, a question echoed through her mind. Could she prove to both of them that, against all odds, they were already victorious? Maya's heart raced, caught in the whirlwind of emotions. The laughter and joy swirling around her felt intoxicating. But Lily's gaze turned that feeling into a heavy weight. What if her daughter didn't see the triumph she hoped to convey? Maya continued sharing her creations, but each smile from the crowd drew her thoughts back to that one eager face watching from the edge. The little girl's awe, mirrored against the shadow of her own daughter's doubt, felt like a tightrope walk between expectations and reality. Would Lily understand the passion pouring from her heart or only the chaos that had preceded it? She swiped a hand across her brow, feeling a bead of sweat slick against her skin. Just as she began to question her own resolve, a voice cut through the merriment. "Mom!" It was Lily, weaving her way through the crowd, excitement glowing on her cheeks. Her daughter rushed to the booth, breathless. "Look at you!" Lily exclaimed, skipping the formalities. You were super cool when the fire happened. And look at everyone smiling. Can I try? Emboldened by her daughter's enthusiasm, Maya instantly felt a rush of warmth wash over her. The doubts that had clouded her heart began to lift as she handed a plate of hors d'oeuvres to Lily, who took a cautious bite. The moment stretched, and Maya held her breath, waiting for a reaction. Wow, this is amazing, Mom. Lily beamed, her eyes wide with delight. In that instant, the acceptance Maya had yearned for brighter than any spotlight. The crowd roared with laughter and joy, and she realized she was not merely cooking in front of them but inviting them into her heart, into her world. Maya knelt down, looking Lily in the eye. See? We did this together, sweetheart. You remind me that every dish is a chance to share love. Lily's grin widened, the skepticism washing away. She launched into a narrative of how she had urged friends and neighbors to come check out her mom's booth. Each word became a thread weaving them closer, tightening a bond that had been clouded with stress and uncertainty in recent weeks as they shared this moment. The CEO stepped closer, an intrigued smile playing across his features. He watched, rapt, as Maya and Lily reveled in their connection. The festival was teeming with laughter, but here, at this booth, nothing else mattered. It was about family and flavor, hope and healing. The flavors you're creating are impressive, Maya, he finally said, his voice resonating with authenticity. Your passion shines through each dish, and it's clear you inspire not just your daughter but everyone lucky enough to taste your food. Maya's heart fluttered, the validation blossoming within her. This festival wasn't just a chance to showcase her skills. It was an affirmation of the sacrifices she had made, the struggles she had faced. Thank you, she said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions. I want to do more, to just create an even bigger impact. The CEO's eyes sparkled with understanding. I think we can do that together. Let us talk about what we can achieve. As he spoke, the festival around her felt distant, yet full of life. Looking at her enthusiastic daughter, she could feel dreams blossoming beyond this moment. But suddenly, a sharp shriek echoed through the festival grounds, slicing through the joyful noise. Maya turned to see a commotion at the other end of the fair. Heads turned, people rushing, and a dark shadow loomed over their little oasis of joy. What just happened? Maya's stomach twisted in worry. Just when everything seemed to fall into place, would they have to confront an unforeseen crisis that could shatter this delicate moment? Maya's heart sank as she pushed through the crowd toward the source of the commotion. The laughter that had filled the air was replaced by murmurs of concern. Panic swirled around her, filling her with dread. What had gone wrong? The vibrant festival, which had felt like a celebration of community and love, now felt tenuous, as if one wrong move could unravel everything she had built. As she reached the edge of the gathering crowd, Maya caught sight of a small boy, no older than 6, on the ground. His face was streaked with tears, and a kind stranger knelt beside him, attempting to offer comfort. Lily, Maya called out instinctively, searching for her daughter who had been right next to her only moments before. She found her standing close, eyes wide. The joy from just moments ago was replaced by fear. Mom, I don't like this, Lily whined, her little hands clutching the edge of the booth. I know, sweetheart, Maya replied, forcing herself to breathe. But we need to stay calm. Let us see if he is okay. With a nurturing instinct, Maya pushed forward, kneeling beside the boy just as the comforting stranger asked for his name. Oliver, he sniffled, trying to wipe away tears with a trembling hand. Hey there, Oliver, Maya spoke gently, matching her tone to his broken breaths. Can you tell us what happened? I fell, he stammered, glancing upward with tear-streaked cheeks. I was trying to get a cupcake. Relief washed through Maya. A simple fall. Yet she knew the seriousness of the moment. When it came to children, they get hurt, and parental hearts ache. Without hesitation, she took Oliver's hand in hers. Well, you're brave for telling us. Let me see your knee. While Oliver showed her the scrape, a group of children hovered nearby, concerned but hesitant. They whispered to each other, their eyes darting between Oliver and Maya. Is he gonna be okay? One girl finally asked, stepping closer, while her friends watched with wide eyes. Maya straightened, standing tall in her role. Yes, I think so. A little scrape here just needs a bit of love and care. How about we find him a band-aid? Maybe it can even be a fun one? The children perked up at her suggestion, and Maya could feel their excitement bubbling back to the surface. She looked to the stranger who had initially comforted Oliver. Would you help me? Together they urged Oliver to sit up while they chalked up this minor crisis into a chance for healing and laughter. Moments later, with a colorful band-aid now adorning his knee, Oliver grinned, his spirit visibly mending. See, Lily exclaimed, her face brightening. That wasn't so bad. Exactly. Maya smiled, feeling lighter, and just like that, a patch of warmth washed over her. Maybe the festival's potential wasn't just in her dishes, but in what they could create together. A sense of community, a chance to uplift one another. As Oliver got back on his feet, the group of kids cheered his courage and new band-aid winning them over. Laughter echoed, and the tension dissolved, replaced by the familiar pulse of joy. Maya turned to Lily, her heart swelling. You see, honey, we can find joy even when things get tough. The CEO appeared at her side, noticing the shift in the atmosphere. Incredible how you turned that situation around, he said, pride evident in his voice. It's not just your cooking. It's how you connect with people that makes an impact. Maya caught a glimpse in his eyes of admiration for what they had just done. And suddenly, she felt a spark of possibility swirling in her. But just then, another commotion broke nearby, louder than the last. A gasp from the crowd filtered through the air like a chain reaction. Could this be something far worse? Maya's heart raced again, drawn back into uncertainty before she could even soak in the moment of triumph. What now? She muttered, dread creeping back in. Would they really face a second crisis after the victory of this one? Maya's instincts kicked in as she weaved through the throng, her heart hammering. The laughter that had just chased away the shadows was again swallowed by murmurs, growing louder this time. Curiosity mixed with apprehension as she approached the new disturbance already crowding her mind with uninvited worries. Everyone, please step back. A voice shouted, slicing through the air. Maya instinctively pulled Lily closer. Stay right here, she instructed, her tone firm as she positioned herself between her daughter and the unfolding scene. With her motherly intuition in overdrive, she sensed the weight of the moment. At the center of the chaos lay a man, his face pale and contorted in pain. People crowded around, eyes darting, unsure of what to do. Some whispered about calling for help. Others fidgeted nervously, as though waiting for someone else to take charge. Maya, a familiar face emerged from the swirl sherry, her friend from the festival committee. She rushed over, motioning to the man. Do you think you can help? Maya felt the heat of anxiety rise in her chest but steeled herself. What happened? She asked, scanning for injuries. He just collapsed. Sherry's voice trembled slightly. I think he was having a heart attack or something. Maya looked at the man, his breaths rapid and shallow. She knelt down, taking a deep breath to steady herself. Can you hear me? She asked gently, squeezing his hand. We're here. You're safe. You just need to breathe. His eyes met hers, devoid of fear, but filled with confusion. He nodded slightly, trembling. Maya's mind worked quickly. Someone call an ambulance, she shouted, as she began to guide him through calming breaths. It's going to be okay. Just stay with me. Lily remained close, eyes wide, her small hands gripping the fabric of her mother's shirt. Is he going to be okay, Mommy? She whispered, a note of fear in her young voice. Maya shot her an encouraging smile, even though uncertainty gnawed at her. Yes, sweetie. We're going to help him, just like we helped Oliver. The crowd's murmurs grew quieter, as people began to focus on Maya's steady voice. Efforts were made to clear space, and soon the rhythmic sound of approaching sirens filled the air. You're doing great, Maya whispered to the man, who held onto her gaze as if it was a lifeline. Just keep breathing in and out. In and out. His chest began to rise and fall slightly more steadily as he clung to her presence. A sense of camaraderie grew, knitting the crowd together, encouraging hope in a bleak moment. Finally, the paramedics arrived and wasted no time assessing the situation. One knelt beside Maya. "You did well. Just keep him calm while we check him out." Maya stepped back, her heart still racing but now filled with a mixture of relief and pride. She glanced at Lily, who was watching intently, her earlier fear now transformed into curiosity. The man was being lifted onto a stretcher, his breath still heavy but calmer, the paramedics in control now. Maya felt a sense of accomplishment swell within her. She looked around and realized that the crowd had found its breath again, a tentative sense of hope replacing the panic. "Everyone, thank you for staying calm," Maya called out, a wave of warmth blooming in her chest. "This is what community is all about." The crowd responded with small cheers and murmurs of agreement. But as Maya looked back at the paramedics, a creeping shadow caught her eye again. A figure stood in the distance, observing intently, just beyond the festival lights, hidden in the dim twilight. Who were they, and why did their gaze feel so heavy, like an unfolding mystery? Maya felt an urgent pull to uncover what lay beneath that watchful stare as the festival buzzed excitedly around her. Unaware of the new dilemma looming, Maya stood frozen, her heart still racing from the adrenaline of the moment with the man on the ground. The cheers from the crowd felt distant, muted by the heaviness of that lurking gaze. Her thoughts spiraled. Who was watching? Why did it feel like a storm was brewing just beyond the colorful festival lights? Lily tugged on her shirt, breaking Maya's trance. "Mommy, can we go get some ice cream now?" she asked, her innocent eyes filled with a spark of excitement that felt out of place against the backdrop of the earlier chaos. "Later, sweetheart," Maya replied softly, her gaze still fixed on the figure in the shadows. It was a tall person, partially obscured, wearing a dark jacket. The way they stood was unnerving, the stillness contrasting sharply with the vibrancy of the festival surrounding them. Maya's protective instincts kicked in once more. "Why don't you stay with Sherry for a moment? I need to check something. Okay?" Lily nodded but cast a worried glance towards the figure alongside her mother. "Just for a second, I promise," Maya added, forcing a smile, but she could feel her stomach sinking. Maya walked a few steps toward the edges of the festival, the laughter and music becoming a background hum, more than a reality. As she approached the foreign presence, her heart pulsed in her ears. Was it fear or curiosity pushing her forward? The figure remained unmoving, silhouetted against the fading sunset. "Hello?" Maya called out, her voice steady but laced with apprehension. "Are you lost?" The figure shifted slightly, revealing sharper features. Suddenly, recognition hit her. It was someone from her past, Jacob, an old friend who vanished years ago after a personal crisis. His expression was unreadable, a mix of relief and apprehension at seeing her. "Maya," he said, his voice barely a whisper, as if the sound of his own name was a burden. "Jacob, is that really you?" Maya asked, disbelief and emotion colliding within her. She hadn't expected to see him here, of all places. Memories flooded back. Laughter, adventures, and the warmth of friendship that had once felt unbreakable. "I never thought I'd find you again." He took a step forward, his eyes scanning her face like he was searching for something he'd lost. "I didn't know how to reach out after everything." She felt a rush of emotions: anger, sadness, and still, an underlying current of love for the good times they had shared. "You just left, Jacob. No word, nothing. We were worried sick." Her voice was sharper than she intended, the memories raw. He hung his head, shame washing over his expression. "Some things are hard to explain, Maya. I wanted to, but it wasn't that simple." The dim light from the festival was a stark contrast to the shadows in his eyes. Maya searched his face, hoping to parse out the truth hidden beneath layers of uncertainty. The energy of the festival buzzed around them, but here, it felt stifling. "What's going on?" she asked, a sense of urgency creeping into her tone. "Why are you here now?" Jacob looked back toward the festival, the flickering lights reflecting in his eyes. "I didn't want to come back, but I heard about what happened at the park. The man you helped. It made me remember what community really means. I guess I thought what? Maya prompted, the air thick with the remnants of his hesitation. His eyes met hers, intense and filled with unspoken words. I thought maybe it was time to face my past. Just then, a loud cheer erupted from the main stage where a band had just started to play a lively tune. Maya's heart beat faster, caught between the warmth of the festival and the cold distance of unresolved feelings. Jacob, she began, but he raised a hand to stop her. Wait, just listen for a moment. His voice was steady now. I need to explain before it's too late. Maya felt the pull of the crowd, joy and laughter filling the air, but deeper questions weighed on her heart. What had he been through? Could their friendship be salvaged? As the music swelled around them, she realized she had a choice. Cling to the past or step into an uncertain future. Okay, Maya said, her voice barely audible over the music. Let us talk. But as they stepped back into the crowd, a new figure emerged from the shadows. Their eyes locked onto Maya and Jacob, and the chill of intuition whispered through her whatever secrets Jacob held. The past was not done revealing itself yet. Maya's breath caught in her throat as the new figure stepped closer, the festive lights flickering ominously against a backdrop of cheer. For a moment, it all felt surreal, a mix of laughter and shadows, joy and dread in the same space. She exchanged a quick look with Jacob, whose gaze flickered between her and the approaching stranger. Who are you? Maya called, her voice a mixture of bravado and fear. The figure paused, momentarily shrouded in the insistent sounds of the festival. The laughter and music continued, but time felt suspended. A woman stepped into view, her expression dark and resolute. I'm here for him. Maya sensed an intensity in her voice that made her gut twist. What do you want with Jacob? Jacob flinched at the sound of his name, a shadow passing over his features. You don't have to do this, he murmured, glancing between the woman and Maya, the tension palpable in the air. Too late for that, the woman said, her voice cold. You can't just disappear and then reappear as if nothing happened. Maya's heart raced. The festival lights shimmered around them. Yet here was a storm threatening to unravel the fragile moment of reconnection she felt with Jacob. What do you mean? The woman's gaze sharpened, directed fully at Maya. You don't know, do you? Jacob's been hiding from the truth. From everyone. There was a weight in her words that reverberated through Maya, echoing the fears she had bottled up inside. Maya, Jacob started, but the woman interrupted him, stepping forward. He's not the person you remember. He made choices that hurt a lot of people. Choices you don't even know about. Maya's mind surged with questions. What choices? Her voice was steadier than she felt, but every word tasted bitter. What are you talking about? Just let it go. Claire, Jacob pleaded, his voice strained. Clenching fists spoke volumes of his internal struggle. Claire shook her head, eyes blazing as she faced him. No, I won't. Not after everything. You owe it to her to be honest. The music swelled once again, a cheerful tune that felt out of sync with the heaviness hanging in the air. Maya could only catch glimpses of Jacob's face. Hurt and regret mingled in his expression, tight lines etching deeper into his skin. Jacob, what is she talking about? Maya's voice was barely above a whisper. She could almost feel the ground shifting beneath her as she stared into the eyes of someone she thought she'd known completely. He looked at her, desperation washing over his face. I made mistakes, Maya. I didn't want to drag you into the mess of my life. Claire nodded sharply. And now it's time to face the consequences. Please, Jacob added, his voice cracking. I don't want you caught in this. It was supposed to be over. Maya was reeling. The laughter and colors of the festival faded as she grappled with the reality of Jacob's past she had been blissfully unaware of. The man she once called a friend was wrapped in shadows, buried under secrets she had no idea existed. A sudden cheer erupted in the distance, laughter spilling into the air, but none of it reached her as the truth roared around her. Is this why you left? She whispered, the pieces slowly clicking into place. I didn't think it would matter anymore. I thought I could keep you safe, but something flickered behind Jacob's eyes. Something darker. Safe from what? Maya pressed, grappling with the weight of uncertainty as the crowd swelled and the moment broke. She felt torn between the buzzing life of the festival and the void of secrets threatening to consume her. Was she ready to hear the truth, no matter how painful? Just then, a loud crash reverberated through the air, drawing everyone's attention away. Maya glanced toward the stage, confusion sweeping over her as chaos spread amongst the festival-goers. In an instant, the warmth of rekindled connection turned icy, raising the stakes higher. "What now?" she whispered, trembling with urgency, not knowing if the answer would reveal more wounds than it healed. The crowd shifted, a wave of energy sweeping through as everyone turned toward the source of the crash. Maya's heart raced, adrenaline pulsing through her veins. The joyful atmosphere was shattering before her eyes, laughter replaced by screams. She clutched Jacob's arm, her grip tightening as fear coursed through her. "What's happening?" she asked, her voice barely audible over the cacophony. Jacob's face was pale, but his expression hardened into one of determination. "Stay close to me," he instructed, inching toward the chaos. Claire moved in, urgency flashing in her eyes as she followed them. Maya's mind was a whirlwind of confusion. She wanted answers about Jacob, the secrets, the lies, but now wasn't the time. She felt the weight of Claire's comments heavy on her chest, but the immediate threat pulled her focus away. As they edged closer, the festival lights flickered ominously. A stage light had crashed down, sending a jolt of panic through the crowd. People were scrambling, shouting, and ducking for cover. In the midst of it all, Maya spotted a little girl, frozen in place, tears streaming down her face. "Jacob, we have to help her," Maya cried, instinct taking over. Before he could respond, she dashed toward the child. Dodging other festival-goers, she reached the girl just as another light fell, narrowly missing them. The terrified child looked up at her, wide-eyed. "I can't find my mom." Maya knelt down, forcing a reassuring smile, though her heart pounded. "Hey, it's okay. I'm here to help you. We'll find her together." Jacob and Claire caught up, breathless. Jacob's eyes darted around, calculating. "We need to find security. They'll help us locate her mom." But the chaos seemed to pulse like a living entity, each cry and crash heightening Maya's anxiety. What if they can't? It spilled out before she could hold it back, laced with the turmoil that simmered just under the surface. Jacob turned to her, his expression pleading. "We will. Promise." The sincerity in his voice was a lifeline amid the storm. Claire, searching the crowd, shouted instructions at a nearby volunteer in a bright vest to get help. Maya stayed by the girl's side, patting her back gently, trying to soothe her. "What's your name?" "Lily," she sniffled, her little fists clenching as she clung to Maya's shirt. "Okay, Lily. Stay close to me," Maya said, glancing back at Jacob. His presence steadied her more than she realized, despite the confusion still swirling between them. With security finally arriving, the noise from the crowd began to settle slightly as they pushed through, determined to restore order. The volunteer knelt beside Lily and calmly asked where her mother was. Relief surged through Maya as she watched their efficient response, the panic ebbing away little by little. "Is this going to be okay?" Lily asked, searching Maya's face for reassurance. Maya met her gaze. "Yes, I promise. You're going to be okay." The words felt more like a promise to herself, a declaration against the swirling doubts in her heart. The moment held a fragile stillness amidst chaos, and in that flash, Maya realized what really mattered. She needed to confront not just Jacob's past, but her own fears about facing the truth. It was time to get clarity. Just then, Jacob approached, pulling her away from the chaos slightly, his voice low and urgent. "Maya, we need to talk after this." She felt a surge of hope. "You'll tell me everything?" "I will," Jacob vowed, his eyes fierce with determination. Before she could respond, a loud explosion of confetti erupted from a nearby attraction, sending laughter back through the crowd. It felt like a signal of sorts, a strange moment of rebirth amidst their turmoil. Maya turned to Jacob, searching his eyes for answers, but the flickering heartbeat of the festival had returned. Beneath all the noise, fear still churned within her. Will this change everything? She whispered, not sure if she was ready for the answer. A look of uncertainty flashed across Jacob's face, just as the ground trembled slightly under their feet, making the light sway. What? Now? Maya thought, nerves tingling with anticipation. In the chaos of the festival, something deeper felt unsteady. And they weren't even close to being done with the surprises of the night. Maya's heart raced again as the ground beneath her gave another tremor, the vibrations chasing the last remnants of calm from her mind. The festival's once cheerful rhythm was now a chaotic pulse. And as she glanced back toward the stage, her eyes widened. Another stage light swung precariously overhead, causing the crowd to gasp in unison. We need to, she started, before she could finish. Jacob's hand gripped her shoulder tightly, pulling her back. His intensity was palpable. We've got to get out of here, he shouted over the tumult. Maya hesitated, glancing at Lily, who now sat on the ground, tears replaced by the wide-eyed astonishment of witnessing the frenzy. What about her? Claire knelt beside Lily, trying to make eye contact with her, speaking softly as if coaxing a bird from a branch. We're getting you to safety, sweetie. Just hang tight. With her heart filled with uncertainty, Maya turned back to Jacob. But we can't just leave her. The swift exchange of urgency in their eyes mirrored the chaos surrounding them. Lily can be safe with Claire. We need to make sure they get out while we can. Jacob insisted as he scanned the crowd now pushing toward the exit. Maya's instinct to protect surged, but she knew Jacob was right. The situation might worsen. She stepped back to Claire and lifted Lily into her arms. We'll stay together. The three of them moved as a unit, weaving through the crowd, their bodies pressed together to shield the little girl. Maya's pulse quickened. Each step felt like a race against time as screams echoed in her ears, a cacophony of panic intermingling with loud bursts of laughter from the safe areas of the festival. Finally, they reached a security area behind the main stage. A group of officers was ushering people into a safe zone. But as Maya looked behind them, she noticed people still trapped in the roar of desperation. A sudden burst of wind carried fragments of illustrations in the air, colorful flyers, confetti remnants, and the shreds of a joyful night splattering against the strained expressions of festival-goers rushing the exit. Maya! Jacob shouted, pulling her focus back. Let us get Lily to a safe place. Then we can help others. Nodding, she pushed forward and handed Lily to the nearest officer, who looked down at the child with concern. She can't find her mom, Maya explained breathlessly. Please help her. The officer nodded, giving Maya a grateful smile before turning to comfort Lily. It was a small, simple gesture, yet it felt like a lifeline thrown into a stormy sea. Turning back to Jacob and Claire, Maya's heart felt heavy but resolute. What now? I saw some families still stuck over there. Jacob pointed toward an area where people struggled to escape the chaos. With the security forces already engaged in guiding children and mothers away, they had an opportunity. Let us help them, Maya breathed out, her sense of purpose igniting a fierceness she didn't know she possessed. They dashed toward the cluster of people, shouting calm reassurances as they moved. Suddenly, it felt like a fire, flickering to life in the heart of their journey. But why were they the ones taking the lead? Wasn't this what they had been avoiding? The uncertainty about their own futures? They reached a group of frightened children huddled by a food stall, parents frantically calling out. Stay together, Jacob urged, his voice clear and strong like an anchor in the storm. Maya looked at him, catching that fire now. We can do this. But just as they stepped closer to the group, another tremor shook the ground, harder this time. The laughter turned to screams once more, and the festival lights, which had just regained their rhythm, flickered ominously again. Jacob! Maya shouted, her instincts flaring. What should they do now? The look of trepidation in Jacob's eyes turned to something else, something more intense. We've got to keep moving. Now! As they began to usher the group toward safety, Maya's heart raced not just from fear. An urgency consumed her. The chaos around them felt intertwined with the chaotic. Revelations waiting to unfold. Moments stretched in her mind, echoing questions she needed to answer. Would Jacob truly tell her everything? Or would they both run like they had been for so long? The tension hung heavy, an electric charge crackling in the air. Their delicate balance between escape and confrontation teetered on the edge, and something deep inside Maya stirred. She felt that this night would change something irrevocably. But before she could ponder further, the ground shook again, and dark clouds loomed overhead. What would be left standing when the night's surprises finally unraveled? As the tremors intensified, Maya's instincts kicked in harder than ever. Standing there with Jacob beside her and the children they needed to protect less than a few feet away, every muscle in her body pulsed with urgency. Instincts screamed at her to shield them. Yet the push and pull of all the chaos, the laughter, the flames of excitement, and the dimming lights felt like a tide threatening to sweep her under. "Come on," she shouted, rallying the terrified kids as they huddled together by the food stall. "We're going to move to safety. Listen to me." Her voice rang clear, rooted in the strength she didn't know she had. She signaled to Jacob with a nod, and they prepared to guide their little group through the scrambling crowd. "Follow closely," Jacob urged, holding Lily's hand in one and reaching out to another child with the other. They formed a line, Maya taking the lead. Each step forward was a struggle, the ground still vibrating beneath them, but the thrill of responsibility ignited a flame in her chest. This wasn't just about escaping. It was about being part of something larger, standing resilient at the edge of uncertainty. The melody of the festival lingered in the air, but the cheers of joy morphed into a distant echo, filled with panic that now attempted to prick at her. Maya refused to let it in, focusing on the little faces staring up at her, their fear mirrored as fiercely in her own heart. She looked back at Jacob, determination lighting his gaze. The unspoken bond between them shifted. They weren't just two people confronting a past anymore, they were a unit facing challenges head-on, fighting for the spirit of their community. With each step closer to the security zone, Maya felt the atmosphere shift around them. Then, just as crowds surged towards them, chaos unfurled. Screams erupted, louder. It wasn't panic that rippled anymore, but raw fear. "Let us go," Jacob yelled, pulling the group through the throngs of festival-goers. Maya's heart pumped fiercely. Was it fear pushing them forward or the fierce pulse of hope blooming anew? As they inched closer, a scene of reassurance emerged. Officers stood ready, guiding families towards safety, their expressions a mix of authority and calm. The sight fueled Maya's resolve, and she could hear her heartbeat in perfect rhythm with theirs. "This way," she shouted, directing the kids while gripping Jacob's arm tightly. But the darkness still loomed, its weight a stark contrast to the flickering festival lights. Each tremor was a reminder of the surreal events unfolding. Yet Maya felt the fire of determination swell within her. She wouldn't be swept away. This night had transformed into something new. She could taste a change coming. "Stay with us, everyone," Maya encouraged as they passed glimpses of families emerging from their shadows, uniting strength amid uncertainty. "We're almost there." Jacob's expression signaled his pride mingled with determination, softened yet earnest. He met her gaze, finally allowing a smile to brighten the tension. "We've got this," he asserted, stepping with purpose beside her. With every passing moment, the urgency continued to fade as clarity set in. It wasn't valid just to escape. It was crucial to reclaim what they once shared and venture beyond together. With all the noise, the dark shadows looming weren't elements they needed to hide from. They could harness this energy, just as Maya had done with her dishes, igniting love and kindness through the kitchen. As they reached the outskirts, a collective sigh of relief surged through their small group. Family members reunited, hugs ensued, and cheers rang out. The festival transformed into a haven of safe smiles. Community poured back in like a warm torrent. A sense of purpose washed over Maya as Lily clung to her side, joy gradually replacing earlier fear. "Mommy, we made it," Lily shouted, her laughter tinkling like chimes through the air. Maya knelt down, pulling her daughter close, tears suddenly forming in her eyes. "Yes, we did, and look at how brave you were. Just like you." Lily beamed with wide eyes and an infectious smile. Maya's heart swelled. The truth of family reverberated stronger than days of doubt had made her believe. Out of the corner of her eye, she caught Jacob watching. His earlier intensity transitioned into a hopeful expression, a rich realization swirling at the center of their unspoken connection. Maya, he began, but she cut him off. Later. Right now, let us celebrate. The words tumbled out, buoyed by shared joy spilling into the air surrounding them as night settled in and laughter echoed against the stars. A shift enveloped Maya. Beyond the thrill of victory over chaos lay the essence of healing, celebrating not just the triumph over physical obstacles but also the reconnecting of souls. They stood together in this bustling crowd against the uncertainties of life, hearts intertwined like festooned lights, shining even brighter in the darker sections of the festival. Can we really do it, Mom? Lily asked, tilting her head slightly. Eyes still sparkling, a smile broke over Maya's face, shining with newfound hope. We'll build our dreams together. Each step, each plate wrapped in the love of our community. With that, she embraced Jacob, stitching together the broken threads of their past and weaving them into a vibrant tapestry of hope for the future. Whatever awaited them now, they would face it, surrounded by laughter, love, and the undeniable strength of family. And just like that, another cheer erupted. This time, it wasn't just noise. It was a promise, a newfound beginning built on resilience, courage, and hearts intertwined in brilliant chaos for a brighter tomorrow. If you felt inspired by Maya's journey and want to follow more uplifting stories like this, you need to subscribe now and never miss a moment of heartwarming tales. Leave a like now to show your support and help keep us going. Comment below your thoughts on Maya's transformation and how you feel about her journey. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this inspiring change. The power of community and love deserve to be celebrated.